I mean, that suggests there's some pretty big fundamental change of logic, change of investing thesis. You know, to be interdependent on other countries outside of your own ecosystem, because the US are trying, they're closing up shop, right? You guys are going America first. We're gonna just lock down everything we can do. We're gonna look after ourselves, right? But that's not the way.
You must watch CNN.
I'm just looking at. I don't actually, but I.
Thank you. Thank you for that.
I know, but I do speak to a lot.
I watch the BBC.
Yeah, okay. They're fun.
You know, it's bad too, and you know, I mean Anyway,
let's not get political here. But you know, I do speak to a lot of people every day, and you know, and they're from all around the world, including a lot of Americans. You know, most weeks I'm speaking to several Americans, and they're sort of different views of what's going on out there. It's very polarizing, your politics at the moment, for sure. But when I talk about the business of mining, you know, it's a little bit protectionist at the moment, because you guys are sort of getting a bit nervous about some, you know, access here. We just had the uranium, for instance. You know, you got rid of the Russian Suspension Agreement, for instance. Okay, you've just put out your critical minerals list, 37 minerals on there.
I think that's a bit. I mean, I agree with you, but this isn't new. If you go back to the Obama administration, if you wanted to have a Chinese company develop a lithium mine in America, that wouldn't have happened under Obama, because the DOD kind of weighs in. And so everybody that thinks if Biden gets elected, it's things are going to change that way, don't hold your breath. This is not a Trump driven, you know, all the noise about, you know, the China trade war. Okay. But with respect to critical materials and especially even if their defense applications are a tiny amount, there's a security of supply concern, and that will be paid attention to. I firmly believe that.
No, I get it. I'm not trying to make it you know, the Republicans would do this, the Democrats would do that. But I think it's that point at which, you know, technology is evolving, and there's a need for all of these materials, and you want to have security of source. You want to have, you know, security, you know, with, you know, significant volume of demand coming down the road, to be able to say we're going to be able to meet our own needs here. So we've got things like, you know, Section 232s cropping up we've just had it with uranium, we've got it with vanadium. There is a kind of new language being used, not just by the Americans, actually. You know, Europe, but UK, most countries put out a critical minerals list, right? But because of that kind of slight national interest component to this, it's going to get tougher to secure these supplies. And we're starting to see a few countries like the US the US government, right, has just put up some money for a nickel supply in Brazil. The UK government has done the same in the UK in a deal with Rolls-Royce. So you've got governments kind of stepping in here.
In my mind, if you take it back to lithium, I just wave my hand at anything they've done up till now, until the Department of Energy is authorized to subsidize loans, to actually do something to get the ball rolling. I mean, you can hardly blame China for being farsighted and saying, hey guys, we need to go around the world and pick up these assets. I mean, you know, America can say, well, we want to let the markets work, but you know, the markets don't always work in time, and we need to see some action. But you can say the same thing about the OEMs. I mean, Volkswagen had the lithium inquisition a few years ago, and it didn't work. And you know, they tout their contract with Ganfeng. Well, everybody's got a contract with Ganfeng, and Ganfeng's only going to have 80,000 tons of hydroxide capacity next year, and they won't give any more than 20% of it to any one company. So start doing the math on that when you see, oh, we're going to have 25 fully electric models in 2020, whatever. It doesn't work. It doesn't work out. I mean, the top 4 lithium companies had 75% of the market roughly last year, and they have to perform better than they've ever performed to even get supply to the 700,000 ton range. and they won't. I mean, if you look at the abysmal record of expansion of SQM and Albemarle, Albemarle's big deals have been acquisition. They bought into Greenbushes. They couldn't make a reasonable hydroxide product at any scale themselves, so they went to China and bought an asset there. And so, these are the biggest lithium companies, and if they're not performing well,